1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Audio test.
Hi, this is cbradiomagazine.com, and what the heck, we're back with another video. We did one yesterday, and this arrived in the mail today. I thought you guys might want to see this. It's pretty cool. This is a Turner Super Sidekick desk microphone. These are from the 70s. If you know Turners, you're probably already aware of what this is, but Turner microphones made some really cool desk microphones. They made the Plus 2s, and then they had the Plus 3s, and the Super Sidekicks, and they did a Turner 100. And really good microphones. They were just known for making good ones. Back in the day, you either had a D104, you had like a Silver Eagle, or you had a Turner, in the 80s, 90s. Those were the two that just people loved. They really flocked to those two microphones. So the Turner Plus 3 is probably the most well-known, most used one, I'd say, out of the Turners. A lot of those have survived. They're actually a little bit different circuitry than the Super Sidekick. This one was marketed more towards single sideband. I don't know if it necessarily is that much better on sideband. I've used Plus 3s for years. They were excellent. The circuitry is a little different though, which is interesting. Alright, so we flip this on its side, and we're going to take a look at the bottom here. First thing is, they always use these battery clips to hold your battery in. And they get bent and they're old, and sometimes you'll have these missing. You could always fabricate one pretty easy. There's nothing complicated going on there. And then your battery comes out, and then we can unplug the battery. And then that goes in there. Now, I believe there's supposed to be a pot right here on these. I'm going to take apart the screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws holding on the base, and then we can kind of take this off and see what's blocking here. Okay, we got our 4 screws out, and this is just the sheet metal piece here that sits on the bottom plate cover. Always kind of interesting that the battery compartment is just that one little battery flip open, not sealed inside. This was a piece of paper that was in there, and what I realized this was, and what it was blocking was, this would sit in here like this, and it would cover your circuit board, and it would prevent, if for some reason that sheet metal was pushed, you don't want it hitting your circuit board. So this just sat in there like this, most likely, when it was new, and the little hole would go there, and you could put your piece in with this on and the case cover on, and you could adjust the little potentiometer in here, which is the other pot for adjustment. So the main one is down here. That's the one on the top side for adjustment, and then this is the other one. There's 2 places for it, which is a little different than what I'm used to on a Plus 3 that I've owned previously. So a little different there. So kind of interesting thing inside here is this board actually has less going on than on the Plus 3. The Plus 3 had a compressor in it. It had more transistors on it. The circuit looks a little bit different on the circuit board. And this one was actually supposed to be the one that was marketed to more specifically for sideband, which is interesting that there's less going on, no compression. One thing I'll point out, and this is not just on this microphone, but on the Plus 3s, any of them that are using these bases, the bases on these were fantastic. They're like cast metal and super sturdy. They got some weight to them, so they're not going to be bouncing around on your desk. If you ever get one of these and you're keying up and nothing's happening and it's not triggering the microphone, open it up and have a look here. I've had 2 or 3 of them over the years on the Plus 3s where these just got a little bent or something and it wasn't making contact real smoothly. This one actually looks really nice in the way it's making contact underneath. And you can see the contact point. It's connected to the one part, and then when you, as soon as you, oops, don't want to break it here. As soon as you hit that key, it connects the circuit and then it amplifies and it's on. So very cool. A little leaf system in here, very simple, but I mean, you think about, these are from the 70s and people are using Plus 3s every day on the radio today. For this simple system to last that long, it's amazing. I mean, these were built to last. Okay, I guess I'm not done showing you stuff yet. One other thing, I noticed the neck on the Turner Sidekick was a little loose where it connected to the base. Also, the head is a little loose, so I'll show you that too. But there's 2 screws here, one here and one here. And then there's another 2 screws, one here and one here. If you tighten up those 4 on the bottom, it should tighten up the neck to the base. And then if you ever have one that's a little loose, you just tighten them up right there. It's pretty easy to get at. To get a head tightened on these, if you have your stem here, if the head itself is loose, there can be 2 types of looseness. Up here, this piece can be a little loose, or the whole piece can be loose. you have to get into this screw here, and there's a little cap that goes on there that can be a pain in the ass to remove. Normally it just is it says Turner on it. On these ones it's chromed. This was the most difficult one I've actually ever had to get off. It was really on there. I used heat to try and loosen up the glue, and even still in the process I scratched the little cap that came off, unfortunately. But once you unscrew that, you can get in here. This is the screw that tightens the whole head to the base, the little one down there in the bottom. That's the one you need to tighten to get the whole base. If just this is loose, then you probably just need to tighten the one in the back here. But anyway, I wanted to show that to you guys. Okay, we got our bottom back on, and now you should be able to see the hole here is not covered up by that piece of paper. I've reapplied that inside, and I should be able to put my screwdriver in there, and now I can twist that pot inside, and that's the control pot. So there's two pots. The way that the manual says to set this up is actually what you do is you set this to maximum. You have your mic gain up on your radio at maximum, and then you go inside and you adjust that pot on the bottom until you hit 100% modulation. And then that way you know that 100% is right here at maximum on the microphone, and then you can back it off, but you'll never go over 100% because you know that's where it'd be set. Which is different than the +3. The +3, you don't have that second control, so you just have to watch. If you have your scope or whatever, you'd have to figure out, oh, 100% is right here. But I mean, the problem is if you ever bumped it or you ever turn it up or you don't remember where it is and you don't have availability to check your modulation, you might be over and you wouldn't know. So it's kind of an interesting feature, I guess. Anyway, quick video. This is a Turner Super Sidekick. Really cool old microphone. And really excited to give this one a go. Look at that chrome. Look at how nice that is, man. It's cool to see one of these in really good condition without a whole lot of pitting or anything on that. So anyway, good old fun one from the 70s. I love the old stuff. Take care, 73s.